Hello, George, Vantage Food Forest. Just want to talk about the drought a little bit and where we grow our food. Have you ever zoomed in and had a look on the map of the U.S. to see where the food's grown? Have you ever heard of the Ogallala Aquifer? Have you seen there's a severe droughtage of snow this year? There's almost zero snowpack in the Rockies. So the Colorado River will be almost empty this year. So I'm here in Asheville, Western North Carolina. Grew up in northern New York and Lakemouth, Ontario. I spent a decade and a half in the Colorado Rockies out here. I was in Colorado, we always talked about those water wars, realizing that the Colorado River itself coming through here no longer made it to the Gulf of Mexico. It'd be dry there. So there's water rights all over out west. And if people have rights down below, it doesn't matter if people up above use that water. This is also the continental divide here. So anything from here goes down into the Gulf. Anything from there goes west. But as we zoom in out here, we know that Kansas grows our food. We know Oklahoma grows a lot of food. We know Nebraska grows a lot of food. But look, it's just everywhere. So all these crops, all these fields of crops, growing annuals, not having perennials, showing bare ground much of the year, take water not out of the Colorado River and out of these rivers around them, because there's just not enough water anymore. They take it from the Ogallala Aquifer. And that's 1/5 of the fresh water that we use. I'm sorry, let me say that again. The Ogallala Aquifer is one of the world's largest freshwater aquifers. Underlying the Great Plains from South Dakota, Texas, it's vital for agriculture, providing 30% of our aggregation, providing 30% of our irrigation. Well, we know that we shouldn't be using this ancient water. It doesn't replace itself fast enough. It's being depleted much faster than it's being filled. Cause depletion or large-scale agriculture, drought, and increased demand worsening the issue. Population expansion. When will this dry up? Could be 20 to 50 years. So when we have years like this, when there's no snowpack, and we know that no matter where I go on this map, we can even go to the East Coast. Other than the mountains, it's going to be food growing everywhere. I don't think we realize this. Anywhere we look, if it's not a national park, a forest system, it's food growing. If it's flat enough to grow food in the U.S., it grows food. Of that food, 70% of what we see growing is feeding cattle, is feeding livestock. Farther east, what's in here? That was a good example. That's mountainous. Over here in the valleys, even in the small little valleys where there's not mountains, it's food. It's just food everywhere. Let's go farther east, up north. It's just growing food everywhere. Hey, solar panels, look at that. So let's have a talk about it. Let's talk about how we grow our food. We do permaculture here. Fat Ninja Food Forest. I'm selling worm castings and consultations and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get people to live more like that. How much nutrient cycling is happening there? How much water is being transpired and caught back, creating its own respiration, creating its own water cycle, feeding a diversity of plants, animal, and fungi, and replacing that water cycle, replacing those aquifers, hydrating that landscape, as well as so many other things for the climate nightmare we're in. So let's talk about it. This is kind of nuts. One more time, anywhere we zoom in here. Let's go out west where all this food's grown, closest to Colorado, and look at that. It's just dark brown everywhere. Set this tripod down again. It's just everywhere we look. We'll see these giant crop rings, these giant crop rotating rings. All these circles we see everywhere are those giant wheels. Sometimes like this, it just runs a third of it or the whole thing, or it's not running, it's brown. These are all run from that aquifer, that ancient water, which is being depleted. I mean, just look. Conversation worth having. Grab your computer, take a look. It's kind of mind-boggling. Change to be better than holiday. Peace.